Welcome, a podcast world, to the awesome LGBT Chamber of Commerce Weekly Podcast. Hi, everybody. How are we feeling today?
Hello. Happy lunchtime.
Hello, I'm windblown.
That's a horrible drag name.
We're a really good one. I don't know.
Depends on what side you come from on that.
We've got a lot to go over. It is the Friday before South by Southwest. The town is popping. I guess it's the Friday of South by Southwest. So there's a lot of things going on. We'll get to all that. But we also want to let you know about the local news roundup in the business world here in town. So let's take a moment. So online travel giant Expedia Group said that it plans to lay off 1,500 employees across the company-wide, across the globe, as part of a grand restructuring plan. 64 of those would be here in Austin. What do we think of Expedia? What do we think of what's going on with the layoffs here in town?
It's just another techie layoff is what it sounds like to me.
I mean, 1,500 out of however many thousands of employees. It didn't give a percentage of their overall number, but we're looking at 60 in I think they're all out of the domain.
Restructuring plan.
Yeah.
That just sounds like somebody's going to be absorbing roles.
Yeah.
Every time I hear that, I'm like, oh, so you're going to pay them the same and give them more responsibility?
Yeah. As a CEO, I like that idea.
Oh, fantastic. I'll start taking out the trash, vacuuming.
I am glad that the number is not as high as I expected.
Yeah.
I don't know, especially compared to some of the other major layoffs that have happened in the last year and a half.
Yeah, I feel like those 64 could be easily rolled up into other positions here in town.
I think those 64 people should come to our luncheon.
I think so. They'd probably find a great job.
Yeah.
And check out the Chamber job board.
100%.
I mean, for sure. All right. And another headline, tax credits for self-employed folks who had sick leave and family leave originating back in March of 2020 from all of the CARES Act and all those parts that were happening. That tax credit is open up if you're a solo entrepreneur. You get to take that tax credit. So make sure if you are a solopreneur out there and you're listening that you are taking advantage of that tax credit. If you don't have a tax professional, where can they find one?
In our directory.
Uh-oh.
We have several.
Oh, we have so many.
And even an LGBT certified CPA or two.
This is true.
Yes. And I tell you, I'm a recovering accountant. Somebody gave me an accounting degree years ago, and I really haven't used it very well. But I will say, a good CPA will sit down with you mid-year and get a sense of, hey, what's going on in your business? Is there anything I need to know about?
Really?
So that they are more of an advisor instead of just somebody who's punching keys and doing your taxes at the end of the year. The more they know about you, the more you know. Mm-hmm. The more they know about you, the better they can help you take advantage of some of these tax credits that are available out there.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, my financial advisor does that, but I also was advised on who my CPA should be in working with her.
Yeah.
Also a chamber member.
There you go.
Yeah. It was actually the very first happy hour I ever attended is where I found my financial advisor.
Well done.
How do you like that? In 2022.
Before you even worked at the chamber?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we had just joined with my last employer as a member, and we came to a happy hour, and then I left with a financial advisor. That's how that works. So come to a happy hour.
Have a salad and get a financial advisor.
Yeah, why not?
Yes, for sure. You do your own taxes, or you hire out for your taxes there, Colton?
I do my own.
Okay.
Not well. I actually need to take a look at our directory.
Yes.
And find one for myself. I don't have a financial advisor either.
Yes.
It's okay.
I need some advice.
You're working towards it, though. We've talked about this.
Yeah. I mean, I always, you're much younger than I am. So I always, save your money, invest your money. Can't give investment advice. But if you are going to look at investments, definitely speak to an advisor.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you Google compounding calculator, and you put in, I'm going to put $100 away and it's going to earn at market rate of 6 to 8% over the next 20 years, you will quickly amass $250,000 without even noticing that you did anything to get there. But you have to start early.
You have to start young.
Yeah.
So start now. Start today.
Okay.
In other news, the It's My Park Day, which is done every year at the City of Austin. It's a biannual community-led day of service. It is set for Saturday, March 2nd. Volunteers work to improve parks and green spaces around the city. If you or your company are interested, you can go to austinparks.org/IMPD. It's My Park Day, IMPD. I've done this before. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
It's like a community cleanup project.
It's a big community cleanup. It's like the city chips in and they give trees and mulch and all the stuff that you need. And the idea is that volunteers around the community, either as individuals or as companies or as organizations, go out there and dig the holes, plant the trees, put the mulch out.
Oh my word!
I love that. Is
I
that
am
every
a professional at this.
It's like a lesbian holiday.
No, it isn't.
Yes, come on.
I did tree planting for work when I was in New Zealand. Because that was one. So a long time ago, New Zealand was the only country that had an alliance with the United States for a working holiday, and yeah, which is cool because we don't often hear that.
No.
And you had your little digger gun, and you would have your sack. It was like Santa's sack full of trees, and you would dig the hole, and you'd throw the tree in, dig the hole, and throw the tree in.
There you go.
And then all the money I made was spent on beer the same day. And that is how you backpack professionally, everyone.
There you go.
Wow.
The more you know.
Just enough to get by with a round the world ticket.
Well, I think I'd be a really good cheerleader for It's My Park Day.
You could be a good manager. You could be like, this tree looks better over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That tree's dead. Don't plant it.
Do the Parks and Rec people like team up to and like teach you how to do this correctly?
Yeah,
so that it's
there's usually somebody there
Huh.
that kind of knows what they're doing, either from the Parks Foundation
or a volunteer that knows what you're talking about.
Somebody
That's really great.
With a greener thumb than me, who I grew up in a desert, so like my job was to sort the different color of rocks that go in the front yard to make sure that they were in the right bin in the front yard. We didn't mow.
Did you ever get grass?
No, we never had grass. We had palm trees, so I would go up once a year and climb the palm tree and cut the dealy whopper off the palm tree. But that was the extent of my yard work. I didn't push a mower until I moved to Texas.
Wow.
Did you buy a gas mower?
I had a girlfriend that mowed. I should probably preface that statement.
That's fair.
So I don't know what kind of mower it was.
It just cracks me up when I see people with the plug-in mowers. I'm like, what are you doing? It looks like you're vacuuming your yard. I just can't get behind it.
It's
like
environmentally friendly, but are
they're bad. There's lithium-ion ones now. Like, just get the battery charged one. I'm sure they're a little more economical, probably a little cheaper, not as powerful. But you see someone slinging that, trying to get the cord out of the way, and it just
how many times did they run over the cord?
Dangerous, yeah.
I remember watching a good friend of mine that I used to live next door to. She had the one with the battery, but it was early days. This was like 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And so the battery would last like 10 minutes.
10 square feet.
So like I would watch her sprint mow the front yard. It was so entertaining. I just sit on my porch and just watch her just like running back and forth like a cartoon character.
I don't know that makes it any better though, right? Because you're probably missing a lot of blades of grass.
I used to mow and leave a little gap in between or like do it crooked.
On purpose?
Yeah. I was only our family's mower for like a week or two before my dad fired me.
You did that on purpose.
Yeah, you planned that.
Mm-hmm.
No, Ashley and I always argue about who gets to mow. Like
mow?
I grew up in the burbs. So lawn care it's in my blood. And she grew up in the country on acreage.
So she rode the mower.
And they mowed the grass with goats and cows. That's how the grass got done. And she will not let me do it. And I'm like an edger gal. Like I have a push behind edger. I got the weed whacker, got the mower, got the whole setup. And she's like, it's fine. Just use a weed whacker. Whippersnapper. I'm like, it looks like trash.
It's very soothing though for me to literally watch somebody else mow. Because I don't want to do it, but I enjoy the retentiveness of it and the clean line. There's a guy on the Tickety Talks.
I like seeing the progress.
That he walks up to like the abandoned houses or the people who the house looks abandoned, and he's like, "Do you mind if I mow?" And they can't figure out what the catch is. It's so soothing; it puts me to sleep. I just love watching him mow.
Is it because he puts it on like fast speed and it reminds you of your neighbor that would sprint mow? You can even hear it. It's like. I do like those videos. They're fun.
Thing to watch her run back and forth. A lot of if you're out there, miss you, love you.
Hope you still got your sprint on, gal.
I would hope she's got a better mower at this point with a better battery. All right, and next headline, the Travis County Commissioner's Court last week received a briefing on a new telework dashboard. It's a web tool that will report on the impacts of the county's ambitious plan to build a 75% remote workforce. It's a big workforce to be remote. Travis County, 75%. I don't know how many employees they have. I know the city's got like 14,000. I'm sure the county's less than that, but
That's wild.
Is it? Sorry. Does that mean that they're also going to grow the workforce? Did I miss something here?
no, they're just encouraging the work from home.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
That's-
except for like I think like crucial services, kind of a walk-up window where you need somebody there. But if you're an engineer and working at plans, I guess you can do that from home.
Yeah. I think it's majority of it's been proven the majority of people who do at least like a hybrid get more done. They're more productive when they're working from home. So
I think it's a good mix. I think you need a little bit of right. I mean, I enjoy coming in and brainstorming with y'all, or just kind of irritating y'all at the same time. It's entertaining. But I think
and a glass box for everyone to see.
There are days though when I'm like, all right, I gotta be head down and uninterrupted, and I need to do that from home. So I think a good blend is where it's at. I know the Commissioner's Court was talking about like the consultant came back with the report. It said like 22,000 car trips off the roads would be one of the results of this policy.
Wow.
How many?
22,000 car trips, not cars, but car trips.
Interesting.
The amount of times they'll come in and out for that 75%.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like working from home when you get in a groove. Like
Mhm.
you find your groove and then you're just like busting out the work.
Yes. I like working from home when I'm on a video call and my cat's butt walks right across my Zoom screen.
Is that what you like about working from home?
That's my favorite. Yes.
Well, my dog has a squeaker toy, as you both have heard on our conference calls when I'm at home, and it sounds like DJ Winston is in my living room, and I have to pause and get up and take it away from him because he does not stop.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So if you ever want me to bring him to the office with his squeaker toy, I'm happy to.
I think
Oblige.
I don't know that we have a pet policy in this building.
Yeah, we already dealt with dogs at WeWork.
Oh, yeah.
In the worst way.
Yeah. When we got the second email from the office that said, the second time, please, again, pick up your dog's mess
Doodles
in the conference rooms.
Yeah.
I was like, we are not renewing that lease. We are done. No.
That is unbelievable to me.
And it's a shocker that the company's going bankrupt. Shocker.
I mean,
Industrious
I
is
know
great.
it happens like out in the wild when you're walking your dog and you're like, darn it, I didn't bring more than 2 poop bags. But when you're in a conference room, how do you not notice that?
Yeah. How do you not smell?
And they're like, oh, someone else will get it. What is that the thought process there?
They were probably
or-
like, "Oh, sorry, I gotta go." In meeting, walks out with dog.
what? That
Yeah, and that was the second email. So you could only imagine how many more times it happened before it actually got to the front desk for them to notify all the. This is why we moved to Industrious, which are chamber members, by the way. If you are looking for an office space, we highly recommend. This is where the grown-ups co-work. This is where real work happens. There's no dude bros. There's no hoodies and Converses, and nobody's taking a nap on the couch. It's where work gets done.
Dishes in the sink.
I think I just wrote their tagline. It's where
Yeah.
work gets done at
I love
Industrious.
And locations all over downtown. I think they have 4 now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, opening up a new one next week? Is it next week? Yeah, Thursday. Or is this week?
Tomorrow.
This week, tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm there
Yes.
with
this week.
bells on.
different days. Yeah.
Sorry. If you saw our calendars, make you really dizzy.
Well, speaking of calendars, Tuesday, March 5th is the primary here in Texas. It runs from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you have not voted in early voting, you can again go to any local polling place from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on March 5th. It's also happening across 14 other states in the U.S., so should be a big day. Make sure your voice is heard on voting day.
Have you voted yet?
By the time this podcast will air, I will have voted. Yes.
Okay, because I know we keep all talking about like, oh, we gotta go vote.
Yes.
So
And there are some contested races on the primary tickets, no matter whether you choose D or R. So make your voice heard.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you go out and vote. Plus, you get a cool sticker.
Oh,
That's my favorite part.
The next bit of headlines is the Austin City Council approved future redevelopment out at the Domain, which allows them to update, which is hard to imagine. It's time to update building facades and outdoor spaces, but it also allows for the redevelopment of about 46 acres in the shopping center, allowing for taller, denser buildings at the Domain. Changes expected to allow for additional shopping, residential, hotel, industrial office space, and future portions of the center, according to city documents that they filed.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think of the
Wow.
Domain?
Well, we've heard a lot about expansion up there
Mm-hmm.
and uptown.
Oh, is
We'll
that
have
the kids'
downtown
club?
and then uptown.
Uptown girlies.
Yeah, I don't know about the kids, but some
a lot
business
of
people that
kids.
we talk to up north.
It's
That's what they're
uptown.
calling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Midtown, according to our city plan, technically. It's
Domain
Midtown.
is?
Mhm.
But everything is called Uptown. Like even the hotel partners are called Uptown.
Well, I'm sure Billy Joel loves that.
Oh, I mean, I love it. I don't make it up there that often anymore because of drive time. But
Yeah. Well, maybe this will entice you to go out there more.
it just might. I have experienced a Rock Rose night,
Yes.
and I think I've had my fill. But I do like to shop, so there is that.
I think it's definitely, like, we're seeing malls across the country fold, right? That old school mall that you saw in every 80s movie.
Oh yeah, where there's no windows and like
Yeah.
they pump in a bunch of fresh air and you feel like you can stay there all day.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that model is gone. But the Domain model, that seems to be working. We're seeing those pop up at
Yeah.
Cedar Park. And
A promenade.
Promenade.
Like it's
Yes.
very not American
Yeah.
style of shopping. How everyone else in the world has been shopping forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah.
The shopping mall concept is very American.
Yeah. It's like we were trying to hold you captive. Like you got into the capsule
Uh-huh.
and then you couldn't come out until you made it to a Mrs. Fields and then you could go out.
Or Annie's pretzels.
And it's probably-
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I like the Domain. We do staycations, my wife and I, and we've stayed up at the Domain and, gone out to Rock Rose and hung out and back to the room. There's some cute little hotels up there. That Lone Star
Yeah.
Court is pretty
Mhm.
cute.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of fun bars up there too. There's a witching hour where I feel a little old
Oh,
compared to the rest of the patrons in Rock Rose, where I'm like, oh, I think it's time for me to go because they keep saying like, who brought their mom? But
I wonder what they say about me when I'm walking through there then.
who brought their mom? Look at those two moms.
Is there
Like
a
as I'm
knitting circle?
struggling to get into one of the bar swings, like they get in so effortlessly, they're so agile, and I'm like, oh, this looks fun. Let me get in this bar swing, and it's like it's a whole TikTok now.
I do love that bar.
Says the youngest person on the staff.
Yes.
Oh, I'm a fan. I like Domain. I'm excited to see that grow. That actually started as an economic development project years ago. So
Oh, okay.
before, that area was kind of a barren wasteland. I mean, it was very sketchy. It was like old real warehouses. People didn't go up there after hours. And the city, it was one of the city's first economic development plans, was to get retailers and builders to put something out there, to do something with that space, really to create what was supposed to be Midtown
Mhm.
as a way to kind of spread the love so everybody's not cramming into downtown for entertainment. And then I think obviously that model has proved very successful for the city's economic development efforts.
Yeah, and it's family friendly. I mean, you can like plan a day around it. Like you don't really know what to do. Take the kids out to the ice cream museum.
Yeah.
Get a bite to eat.
They
buy
should
it.
do that south too.
But they should. Well, they were talking about like a Domain South, right?
Yeah.
At one point between
Well, I mean-
Kyle and San Marcos.
Well, I
They
mean,
could-
like South Park Meadows is there, but
It's not
that is
quite the same.
That's not the
like, there's
same,
no like nightlife.
Yeah.
Like-
It used to be like a so-main.
Mhm.
I don't know that Kyle
Mhm.
corridor though is
Yeah,
beefing up.
Well, I don't know. Remember we spoke last week. Tesla rented pretty much all of Kyle.
that's true.
Million square feet
So
of office
like
space.
just on the Butte boundary line, for the longest time, I forget the name of the shopping center. It had like an Evo and a Home Depot, and then it had this monolith of sign space that was never filled for years. And it's like,
Mhm.
what is this gonna be?
And Kyle?
Yeah,
Springtown, right?
Springtown
Something? I
Center.
don't know.
and then boom, they put in a Costco, and look what happened. There is a ton of restaurants and bars and things to do, and it's expanding, and it just might be.
Well, I will tell you, those things don't happen on accident. Those things happen because Kyle's economic development staff is doing what they need to be doing. Same
Yeah.
with Buda, same with San Marcos. The San Marcos partnership down there is doing what they need to do to attract different businesses to create jobs in that corridor that's connecting Austin to San Antonio. I remember going to school back at Southwest Texas State,
Mm-hmm.
and there was dirt between Austin and San Marcos. And now
Yes.
it's a continuous. I was talking to a friend of mine who was interested in moving to Buda. And she was like, "Oh, I was looking online. It looks like a cute little town." I'm like, "It's not a little town."
Well, see, and this is my question. So I grew up in South Houston, which was not called Houston when I was a child. And then it was annexed. I
Oh,
grew up
okay.
in Clear Lake. So how long does it
Uh.
take for something like that? Do they even look at that anymore?
No, it just becomes part of the. It's like saying
Greater-
DFW,
Yeah.
right? We'll start calling it ASA.
If you sneeze between South Park Meadows and Kyle Home Depot, you will miss Buda. Like, it is expanding and developing, but it is very skinny.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
like,
odd that,
yeah.
as the foreigners call it, Buda.
Buda.
But if you're new here, they call it Buda, and Buda's not skinny,
Buda's
Right.
not skinny. It's beautiful.
but Buda is skinny.
Buda. Beautiful Buda.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
And then in other news, Austin is quite the hotspot for some out of town restaurants that are opening up. So Hattie B's from Nashville, Hattie B's Hot Chicken is opening on South
Oh,
Lamar,
chicken.
and Tim Hortons is opening
Whoop,
North
whoop.
Austin.
As a chicken tender connoisseur,
Oh, yes.
I am very excited about this news.
Seriously, if anybody wants us to judge their chicken tenders, we love a chicken tender and we try different spots all the time. I'm very excited for this. And we went to, what's the hot chicken place we went to?
Tumble 22.
Yeah.
So good.
Delicious. Just love a chicken tender.
Yeah.
Wonder who invented the chicken tender. They should really be patting themselves on the back. But Timmy Ho Ho's is my jam.
So I don't know what a Timmy Ho Ho's is.
Oh, wow. Timmy Ho Ho's is a Canadian coffee shop.
Okay.
It is, oh, dare I even say this, but it's almost like a watered down Dunkin' Donuts. But it is affordable and it's fast. And like
Watered down.
once you get into the groove of like the Timmy Ho Ho culture, it's like you come in and you're like, oh, if you don't know how to order, get out of line. Like, I want a single and a honey cruller right now, or I want a double or a single double and an old fashioned. So it's donuts,
An old fashioned?
old fashioned donut.
Oh, I thought it was a whole different kind of ordering.
That's exciting.
I think you could try that, but they might ask you to leave. And single cream, single sugar. That is how it is ordered. It is all drip coffee. They do have like specialty coffees from a machine.
You
Not
know
a-
you're Tim Hortons.
I am obsessed. So when they opened in Houston, I had already moved here. I went for the grand opening.
Okay.
In Katy. So not Houston, but in Katy, Texas. And I got my honey cruller and I got my single, and I was a very happy girl. It just took me back to Canada.
I think I've had their hot chocolate from a packet.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is they have like a partnership with Wendy's somehow.
Huh.
So you can get chili at Tim Hortons in Canada. It is the same chili that they have at Wendy's.
Maybe Tim and Wendy have a thing.
Maybe.
Maybe.
They made little chicken nuggets.
No. No, they didn't. We're going to leave that
They
to Hattie
invent-
B's and Tumble 22 and Burger Bar and Happy Chicks.
So I've
all
had
the
Hattie
things.
B's. I've had Hattie B's in Nashville. It's right off Broadway. I love Nashville's downtown area. It's really cool. They are really owning that music vibe and highly talented musicians. I enjoyed my time there, minus the rednecks with the attitude that it was a little different. But I really enjoyed Hattie B's a lot. Although I will say I've not had it. It's kind of like Rapolo's Pizza. I've not had it sober.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So I don't know what Hattie B's tastes like without alcohol. So I'm excited.
feel
It's
like
down the
that's a
road from my
shame.
house.
Because
That's
I think
fair.
it's something that you should enjoy. Now, I will also say I've had Crystals and never had Crystal Burger sober.
Yeah,
And that is probably
it's a
a
good
good
combo.
thing
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think anybody could eat Crystal Burger sober. But
I do buy the White Castle frozen burgers.
oh my
I do. too.
That is,
Yeah, it's my ultimate comfort food.
it's like the equivalent of a candy corn. Like it's just pure
I like
garbage.
candy corn.
Candy corn likes you too.
Thanks.
That is complete garbage.
I know it's garbage,
Oh.
but it's garbage I love. It's disgusting. It's something I eat in the
White
quiet of the
Castle
night
burgers.
by myself. Yes. And you can't eat just one. You have to eat multiples.
Well,
of
they're
them.
tiny little burgers. They're like sliders.
Yeah, and they do slide
It-
all the way through.
Is this? Oh my word! Get out. Also, do you remember? So there was an A&W that was here for a while on Ben White.
Ben White.
Yeah, I think they may have closed now,
With
but
Long
did.
John Silver's.
Yeah.
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 who is keeping them in business? But drive-through seafood. But A&W was a big thing in Canada as well, and I loved going to A&W because I
Mhm.
could ask for the twins.
Excuse me.
And it was 2 sliders, but I did enjoy saying, I'll have the twins.
It's the only reason you went.
It is the only reason I went. That and a root beer float, of course.
Oh, yeah. And did
But-
you get the little glass? Remember they used to have the little commemorative root beer float glass.
I'm sure they did, but no, I was on the road, so came with a straw.
Oops, sorry, wrong song. So I will say there's a lot of caffeine going on in this office
Oh,
for me
yeah.
today. So those are the headlines for Austin this week in local business news. Next week, we're going to have a special guest. Susie Chase is going to join us from Austin Pets Alive, also represents Texas Pets Alive, to talk about how they conjured up this great partnership between them and Austin FC. Be sure to tune in for that. What other headlines are going on in y'all's world?
So many.
South by Southwest.
Yes.
Big queer kickoff party
Woo woo.
at Rain on 4th, Friday, March 6th,
Yes.
6 to midnight. We are partnering with our friends at HRC Texas. It's going to be so much fun. DJs hired, drag queens hired, a lot of fun. Be sure and check out our social media. We should have some updates coming out soon with some names, and we'll see you there.
I love that. This
Oh,
is the
man.
11th annual Big Queer Kickoff.
It's crazy.
Like if you're from anywhere in the country, anywhere coming into South by Southwest, like this is the party to go to on opening night, tonight at Rain on 4th Street.
For realsies. Last year was my
Right.
first
Sweet.
time.
Next
and
week.
it was
Right, March
a party.
6th.
6th. You're right, March 6th. Don't get it. I mean, you can go to Rain tonight.
Yeah.
It'll still be a big party, but March 6th will be an amazingly large party.
The 6th? The 8th.
Yeah.
8th. Sorry. Oh.
It is the 8th,
Yeah, it is the
everybody.
8th.
Because
6th
our
is our luncheon.
because our panel is the 9th.
The best way to know is to visit the Austin LGBT Chamber website.
We do so
And
many
click on
fun
events.
things. We do so many fun things that sometimes it's a blur. We have ribbon cutting this week. Next week we have a luncheon. Then we have the kickoff party. Then we have our panel. And then the South by Vortex.
Yes.
We
That's
are
a
gonna
good way to
be
call it.
sucked into the South by Vortex, and you'll be lucky if you catch us.
I'm excited. I love South by season.
Me too.
I love it. I love what happens to our city. I love the economic impact. It's about a $380 million economic impact to our city. I love all the money that all these visitors come and drop off and leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. And it has a minimal impact because most of them stay in the downtown area. They're not using our highways and our byways. They're not crushing our infrastructure. They're just coming in here and dropping their coins.
And Selena Gomez will be here.
I saw that.
Yes. And they dropped a few more. Who was the other one?
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
She's in an A24 film. I can't remember what it's called. Civil War?
I don't know.
Question mark? I don't know.
American War.
Kir- Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, sure.
Is it Kirsten?
I probably
Kristen.
said Kirsten because of the lady from the OC.
She will
I don't know.
forever be my bring it on hero.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Yeah.
that's taking it back. I mean, she's been in other wonderful films, but Bring It On is a charm, man. That is
I think Anne Hathaway is in another world premiere.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
And the show host with the hair, Conan O'Brien. He's coming
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and his panel is kind of like how to hate Conan O'Brien. It's like some ridiculous title about like how to cancel Conan O'Brien. I love that he self-deprecates.
that, yeah,
Yeah, me too.
that is tragic.
That's always my favorite type of comedy.
I mean, and the guy is like, it's not gonna be hard to find because he's like 7 feet tall.
And his hair is another foot.
And- yes.
No, I'm super excited. This is like my second, technically it's 2.5 times in to South by,
Yeah.
where I'm all in. I'm ready. I nearly invested in my own scooter to just be prepared to do that South by sampling and not miss a beat. Like,
I almost rented a bike. And I was like, I'm just gonna try my hand at finding a public bike that's available. Because renting a bike
like
was
the Lime bikes.
no, like a real like bike rental place, like Austin Bicycle Shop kind of place.
Oh,
But it's like $100 a day. Well, because I wanted a nice e-bike, and it was like $100 a day.
of course you did.
It's a little much.
Just get a scooter.
I'm just gonna walk. I mean, I'll scooter after I have some liquid courage. Not too much.
I feel like this is an opportunity for Lime and well, Uber and Bird, and what's the other one? There's another one,
Wheels.
to lease a charging unit and a scooter with like a deposit where you get to like take that stuff home with you. I would do it.
Oh, the used ones.
Just like so you don't have to fight for them during the festival. So
I think they're gonna probably put more out there. What they
Yeah.
should do is a festival pass. You should be able to spend
Yeah.
X number of dollars
transportation
from
pass.
March 9th to whenever, and
I think we're onto something.
Yeah.
That would be smart.
yeah,
And
it's like
then-
we're a chamber of commerce.
Yeah.
We
I just know I will not be taking a
welcome
pedicab.
to the Scotch think tank.
You don't like the pedicabs?
I am a little traumatized from Amy and I's last pedicab ride.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Oh, that's fair.
we have to know.
It ended with me in the ER after my
Not because of the pedicab.
Yeah, not because of the pedicab. Allergic reaction,
Oh.
anaphylactic shock.
Well, quit licking the cabs.
Don't ever
Oh,
feed me almonds.
That poor pedicab pusher. It was a legit push bike, y'all. This had no pedal assist on it. It was father time at the wheel. And I was really trying to help sweet baby Colton get some help because he could not breathe. We were getting to the point where it was like, okay, it was in the middle of ACL, so there was no transportation.
Okay.
So we had I was like, oh, pedicab, thinking outside the box. Like, we'll take the pedicab to the hotel, to
the
where we
fire station.
park. Well, to where we park. And
Did you make like siren noises while you were in it?
When I tell you that it was like
this man, I found the last Mohican of a push bike pedicab in Austin. I didn't even know they existed anymore. And
was
he
like-
was like 98 years old.
the pause and the pedaling was like the amount that you would go forward, you would almost go backwards again. Like by the time
I
I
have
came back around.
never in my life gone so slow in a pedicab. Usually they're flying. And it was like this back and like, so he's up off his seat, like trying to pedal. And I'm watching the cracks in the sidewalk trying to gauge how fast we're going. And I'm just like, this is a bad move. And I'm looking over at Colton and he is struggling.
Got like all the walkers are passing
He was
you.
on the struggle bus, and I like tapped the guy on the shoulder. I was like, "I need you to stop. I need you to stop right now. Like, stop. We're getting out. We're getting out. Stop.
I think I was already getting out, but I didn't even have to ask him to stop. That's how slow
And he
we were
was
going.
like, "We're almost there." And I was like, "I don't know if you've noticed, but anaphylactic shock is happening right now, and you were very sick. Like it was taking over his body. All of the demons of hell were crawling out of you." And I was like, "Also, I'm calling 911 like right now.
Yeah.
We've reached that point. We're not going to make it." It was very scary. So that was traumatizing.
Yeah.
But me and your friend Toy during South by, we had a blast in all the pedicabs. So many,
I'll give it another try.
so many
Yeah.
videos.
They're good, and you can, they're negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always happy to play. Let's make a deal
Yeah,
because they make it up. How
They
much it's
do.
gonna
Oh, yeah, they
cost,
do.
100%.
which is fine. They're out there earning a living. It's great. I love what they're doing. I think it's a fantastic way
Yeah.
to get around.
Oh, and we 100% told a pedicab
Mm-hmm.
no on Rainy Street when we tried to get up here to Coconut, and he was, we were
Price
like, "How
gouging.
much?" And he was like, $40. I was like, "Get out of here." There was some swear words in here. But I was like, "You can get out of here with that nonsense. We're locals. Treat your locals better.
You got to show your ID to get
Yeah.
a locals discount.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope that you try it. I'll try a scooter during South by. I've tried them before. I just don't
Okay.
love them. I feel like I'm top heavy. And I feel like it's controlling me. I'm not controlling. I'm excited. I like the sit down ones.
No,
The trick is to scream the whole time. It really makes you feel more comfortable. That's me the whole way. I'm like,
I will say I've only ever been on the Uber scooters. I've never used any other brand. And they have like a demo mode that you can use. It's much
Training.
slower.
There's a demo mode.
There's like have you done this before? No. And then you get on it and it's like
Oh.
half the speed. So it's a little maybe.
I like that.
Yeah.
I went and tried.
You don't have to put the toggle all the way down too.
I know it's hard sometimes because you're just holding on to the hand grip as hard as you can. All of a sudden, you just go even faster.
It's just a thumb toggle. Like it's just a little like.
I went and tried the mod bikes over the weekend and test drove those. Those puppies are fast.
Yeah.
Like you should be wearing a motorcycle helmet fast.
I mean,
Wow.
you technically should.
Yeah. I mean, she said it topped out at 28. I didn't even get, so you have 5 buttons on it to go fast. I got to 2 and she's like, 3, it really kicks in. I tried 3 for like a second. Yeah. I thought I was going to take off from the ground.
oh, I'd be screaming.
Sprouting some wings.
Like, who is riding this on 5?
Speaking of helmets, isn't it state law?
So I think it's under a certain mile per hour that you can.
I think bicycles have to have a helmet.
Well, you have to have a helmet,
Well,
but some difference of like, is the bike helmet going to save you if you're going 28 miles an hour, or should you really step it up and get like
a motorbike helmet.
yeah?
There's a guy that is careering down 7th every day when I come into work on a scooter with a motorbike helmet.
Yeah, he's
And
probably fallen.
That thing is flying. Like he keeps up with traffic.
Oh,
And it's just, it looks like a little stick.
I mean, it's great that his head's going to be saved, but he's not going to have like a left arm if he crashes going that fast. I don't know.
I think it'll just be a helmet left over, if I'm dead honest.
It's gonna look
with,
like
with a head in it.
blazing saddles.
He goes so fast. And it has like these off-road tires. I'm like, where are you taking that thing? It's a scooter.
Well, I know you cannot do motorized on some of the trails around town.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Oh,
don't know
that
where,
makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah, because I mean, if you're trying to walk,
Well, it's also
jog,
going to
you
tear
don't
up
wanna-
the trail, I think.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want somebody zipping by at 22 miles an hour.
Well,
Yeah.
even like when you get closer to Zilker, like they eventually like turn off.
Yes.
Like it's like just stops moving.
Oh, my.
Oh,
The scoot over here.
Huh.
If you get too close to the
Oh.
there's a little park behind us.
Republic Square.
really?
If you get too close to the curb, that scooter just stops dead in its tracks. And you get a little null sign on your
Huh.
screen. And you got to shuffle over.
I've not had that.
So
I took a
irritating.
B-cycle this weekend from my house over to Zilker Park to meet my wife's office. They were doing an office party, and I rode. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I'm just telling everybody now. But I rode my bike, or that bike, it was an electric B-cycle, across the park. I mean, I
on the grass.
on the grass, and it
Get off the grass.
had power the whole time. So they-
That's movie
Princess
reference. You probably
Diaries,
haven't seen it
Princess
because you don't
Diaries.
watch films.
I don't speak Genovian. Sorry.
we've
I tried.
Mm.
But the,
Anne
so the-
Hathaway was good. Anne Hathaway
the
reference there.
B-cycle doesn't stop in the park. So if you want to, maybe we try that. But I'm excited for, there's a ton of B-cycle spots. I think they're going to do, I know last South by, they were constantly replenishing the stock. So, and those B-cycles will stay in the downtown area because it's going to be South buyers using them. I like
Mhm.
this.
I think I like the compactness of the scooter though. It's like quick on, quick off.
Mm-hmm.
I always like to watch the guys that are working the scooters at.
Oh, when they
South
drive
by.
like 6
When
of them at
they're-
once.
Yeah, when they're driving
Oh.
like literally like 8 scooters down Rainy Street.
And you've
at
seen
one
the
time.
guy-
And I'm like, huh?
I can't even drive one. He's got 8.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this dude is doing, but you've seen the guy that like has the bread pallet
What?
on the scooter.
No.
He stacks like bread pallets on the scooter and then sits on the bread pallet and balances.
Interesting.
I don't know where he's going with those things or why he has them, but he's onto something.
Yeah, I suppose so. But excited about South by, excited about our events. Check out all of the events coming up. We also have a South by staff's picks on our chamber website. You can learn about South by, you can learn about our events at austinlgbtchamber.com. Join us again next Friday. We are always happy to hang with you.